Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. So some big news here, and you may have seen it on your servers. It may have already happened. It may be in the works, or this could be old news for you. But either way, I wanted to get out there because it's quite interesting. As we all have probably seen on our servers for across time, people come, people go. By the end of it, you may have 5 active players. You may have 20 active players, just depending on the length of your server and the overall dedication from the players, right? But my server, EST 322, only had about, I'd say, 15 active players by the time the merge came. I went from being second around 70,000 BR to being 16th with over a few hundred active players now. So what they did is they merged 10 servers. Now, I don't know the longevity of the other servers. I don't know the fairness of this really happening, right? Because if I go to the rank to show you exactly how it kind of has drastically changed, it really has. Okay, so I've invested a significant amount in this game, as I'm sure a lot of you have, and it's a little bit discouraging, but also a little bit motivating at the same time. Now, I don't think I will ever catch up to these people, and I don't think I want to financially, but at the same time, it's a little bit humbling. So now, if you look here, you see Hurricane is usually number one at 221 million, right? I personally have spent, I don't know, 5-6 months on this game, at least on this server, once I finally, figured out what I was doing and started really getting involved with it. But if you look down the list, right, 204, 185, 176, 157, all these different people came from servers outside of our own. The strongest person from our server right here was 13, Usurka, who is my guild leader. And if I go down here, I'm 16th now at 96. So I went from second, dominating almost everybody, to almost being less than half the BR of somebody that, or the top 1, 2, 3, almost 4 players, right? Which, as you know, if you're half the BR, it's not even a contest. Heck, if you're, 3/4 of their BR, it's not even a contest, especially when it's that high. So it's a little bit interesting, the Guild Wars, and there's been talk of some super guilds and things like that, being created. But overall, activity-wise, there's been pros and cons, and I kind of want to go over both of them because it can be discouraging. And there has been moments, have been moments when I thought, well, this is it, right? I'm not really motivated by this anymore. I went from, thinking I was good to just getting demolished, right? So let's just start with the pros because, that's always, the good parts here for us. The trade is back active and at reasonable prices. Before, there was only 2 or 3 people that may be investing on our server, and they're all working towards their own goals. So they're not really trading anything. Nobody's really buying anything. Mainly, set stones. If you really wanted or needed them when you move up in the levels, I mean, I'm on level 12 gear now, and it's 5,400 just to get a normal set, right? Not a big deal when you look at armors over the longevity of your play, but when you're talking about weapons and accessories, that's an astronomical amount of stones. So with that being said, that's been major focus for me now, is going through and using my resources that I've acquired through events and double the diamonds over time. I probably dropped 10,000 diamonds on stones over the last, ever since the servers merged. So I want to say a few weeks ago, which has really been a huge help. Okay. If you look though, there's stuff everywhere. I mean, when was the last time you saw any kind of fragments in here for you? Or let's just go, let's see, or maybe level 11 weapons or level 12 weapons, right? Not overly hugely expensive compared to what people were trying to sell them for. The one thing I do wish GT Arcade would do is go ahead and lower the feather amount, right? We all have an exceptional amount of 4 and 5 feathers as you go up in the game, and I'm not saying a ton, but at the same time, if I look and sell, the lowest I can sell my level 5 feather for, because I don't need it anymore, is $400. Literally $400. That is insane. Nobody's gonna buy that, and I don't expect anybody to buy that. So what is my only option then? To feather it and disassemble it for whatever they call it here. Let's just look. if I go to material decomposing, for these guys here, the medium feathering stones from 16 to 25. And I'll get into that in another video here of some of the newer things you don't want to miss out on. I just kind of want to compile a video of those here for you too. But long story short is the trade is awesome. So it's been astronomically helpful and allowed me to go ahead and set things and move up in gear that I would probably not have been able to if it weren't for the merge, right? So, you know, if you look, I have a level 12 mythic weapon now. As you can see, setting it perfectly is a lot here. I still have 11, 11, and 12. So with that being said, it still allowed me to go ahead and progress my gear faster, as well as the set stones here for you. So kind of cool there, but you know, some of the cons here for you, you're not going to get as, I guess it's more mental in my opinion. You're not going to get as good of a rank in the Sanguine. You may not get as good of a rank in the Dragon Slayer now. So, you know, you may not get your attack gems like you were used to. For me, that's been probably the biggest one because I was kind of, you know, worked my way up to always being in that top 10. Now I'm right below it again, you know, with the 12th, 11th, whatever. And I'm back to getting the health gems. So, you know, a little bit discouraging there. But it's also brought the things like the Battle of Hegemony or whatever you want to call it, with a little more excitement. It's brought Sanguine with a little bit more excitement. It's brought the Guild League with a little bit more excitement, right? All those things that were kind of just taken for granted in a lot of servers because there weren't that many active guilds, or those active players merged into one guild and just kind of raked in the prizes, right? It was just kind of going through the motions. So now it does take a little bit more strategy and actual gameplay to, you know, acquire those things, which is the whole point of the game. So I think we've all got a little accustomed to it being too easy for us. And now that we have some of these players that have either been on servers twice as long as us or have spent twice as much money as us, right? Whatever it is for them to have that kind of BR, maybe a combination of both, right? It is what it is. It's part of these games, and you're just, you know, we're gonna have to deal with it. But at the same time, it's allowed me to humble myself and then strive to, you know, get better. It has slowed down my investing in the game. I will tell GT Arcade that, because it became a race for number one before, and now it's like there's no way it's ever going to happen, right? So I don't really invest that much anymore. I'm kind of happy with my you know, position in the game, but it hasn't deferred me from playing, which is the main point for us enjoyment wise, right? And I know GT Arcade probably doesn't want to hear that because they're there to make money, but at the same time, it is what it is. So not only that, but if you think a little bit deeper, before, now you have cross server on top of merged servers, okay? So when you're doing world bosses on the cross server, when you're doing all those other showdowns and sanguines, now you went from a server of 10, maybe fighting 10 other servers of 10. Now you have a server of 100 fighting 10 other servers of 100. Whatever it is, right? It's astronomically larger, and with that brings a whole nother level of complexity, which is interesting, right? It's different. It needed to shake up. They needed to condense these servers, and they did. So kudos to them. But with it brought some discouragements and some encouragement. So I just want to get on and talk to everybody about it. You know, please leave your comments, feedback on how you feel about it. You know, and maybe we can start a discussion there for you. So as always, I appreciate everybody for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next episode.